Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today I wanted to do a Necromon deck profile for BT21. The last time we talked about this deck was before Purple Hybrid got hit on the banned and restricted list with the Matt Ishida ban. So I wanted a list that we could have on this channel that's just a good Necromon template for you to play with and tune to your liking. There's a couple slots that you can get a little bit spicy with, and we'll talk about that. So, starting with the eggs, I'm on 4 copies of BT20 DemiMeramon. On deletion, you can return a Digimon card with a Ghost trait from trash to hand. This is kind of our staple egg, just for getting our pieces back off of the execute triggers. When our Digimon gets deleted, we'll be able to grab a piece back, whatever we need to build into a new stack. I have seen people running Cubemon in this slot. I think it's perfectly fine. If you do go that route, you're going to need to make space for Calling for the Darkness. But as it is, I'm running this egg because I like the consistency that it offers me in grabbing back my pieces. Onto our level 3s, I do have 2 copies of Ignitemon. You might gather that that means there's going to be some Mervamon, some Anubismon. You would be correct. What we care about here is the inheritable that says all turns when you play a Digimon by an effect gain a memory. That will synergize with the Anubismon. This is also a Digicross material for Mervamon, which we care about as well. The one attacking doesn't really come up, but you can delete one of your other Digimon to delete an opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. We have so much removal in this deck that this is kind of a non-factor, but it does exist. You can use it. Then we're going to have 4 copies of BT20 Ghostmon. On play reveal top 3, you add a card with the Ghost trait and a card with the Liberator trait among them to the hand. The rest go bottom deck. The inheritable is going to gain us a memory on deletion. That is really, really key. We have lots of inheritables that do that. We're going to have Tamers that do that. And it's going to make sure that we get lots of memory back to continue plays after an execute trigger goes off. We are going to have 4 copies of the new BT21 Ghostmon. This is a card that I think the archetype needed really, really bad for its tribal build. Your turn, when this Digimon would evo into a card with the Ghost trait, reduce the cost by 1, and then on deletion, gain a memory. So first of all, that inheritable is super, super nice. It's going to keep us in theme with gaining a memory when we delete our stack via execute. And the your turn effect is going to be really fantastic. With the 3-cost Violet Inboots, we should be starting our turn with 2 memory. This makes it so that we can go into a level 4 for 1 memory, hopefully pop a training to get into a level 5 for 1 memory. We should be at 0. And then we can evo into Necromon. It just kind of makes getting into your level 6 stack totally doable with just a rookie in raising, and that is what we like to see. That is more gas to play with and more aggro to be had. Moving on to level 4s, I'm on 3 copies of the BT15 Bakemon. When digivolving, on deletion, draw 1, then trash 1 card in your hand. Helps you find your pieces, helps you get your trash set up with the Anubismon that we are going to be running. That is important. And then the Retaliate inheritable is also really nice because we do care about that. It allows our level 5s to trade up, and it allows Necromon to do some nasty, nasty things with that retail. We are going to go 3 copies of the BT20 Soulmon on play, and when digivolving, one of your Digimon gets retaliation to the end of your opponent's turn. This is also relevant because we have the Mervamon. We're going to be playing level 4s with that effect, and this is a good target for that. And make sure that you play 2 of these. Both the bodies get retal, and then they are eligible for the rush swings. The on deletion inheritable says by trashing card in your hand, you get to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. It's a nice way to trim down the board and keep any kind of floodgate rookie off of the board. We are also going to run 4 copies of the BT20 Bakemon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you can play a Violet Inboots from your hand without paying the cost. That's going to be excellent for getting our memory up and getting our free evos off the Violets. The on deletion inheritable will also gain us a memory in line with our rookies, and going to make sure that once we pop that execute trigger, we're gaining hopefully 2 memory back off of the play. Moving on to level 5s, 4 copies of BT20 Phantomon. This has execute. If you've never seen this keyword, at the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack. At the end of that attack, delete this Digimon. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. That's what we're talking about when we talk about trading up with retal with our level 4s. Basically, you give this retal, you execute into an opponent's unsuspended Digimon, and that presents you the opportunity to trade up into like a level 6 or level 7. Hopefully they have no Blastaces, but you can sacrifice the Phantomon to get in with that retal check on an unsuspended Digimon. On deletion, you can play level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. That's a really powerful effect, keeping bodies floating, and with the Violets, we'll be able to evo back into a level 5 off of that effect as well. The inheritable does the same thing on deletion. You can play a level 4 or lower with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. Excellent card for this deck. We are going to run 2 copies of the BT20 MetalPhantomon. Has blocker. That's great to see. Evos on Phantomon for 1. On play and when digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Good way to clear the board, actually keeping things off of the board at level 5 and level 4 in this deck really, really effectively. The on deletion also de-digivolves 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. This is also an incredibly valid threat. It can remove a Blastace threat in some tricky situations as long as you can delete your stack. We really do like this card at 2. I find it's a little bit I really don't like it at more than 2 because sometimes you're just stuck with this as a 4-cost Evo in hand. So 2 does our purpose very well, and we have another level 5 that we're going to be running here as well. With the Kimeramon, we float level 4s back. We've talked about it a couple times with the Phantomon, and the Necromon is going to enable us to get a level 5 that then can turn into a level 4. So Chimeramon's a good way to get level 4s on the board and then DNA them into this, especially with the Mervamon. Playing back 2 level 4s and then DNAing them into Kimeramon is really nasty. This just presents extra opportunities for us to get in for damage and potentially cheat into another level 6 stack if we have to. On to the level 6s, we do have the 1 copy of Mervamon. We can Digicross from trash or hand with this card, or board, but that's what the Ignitemon is for. On play, when Digivolving, you play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon card with Crossheart in its traits, or just purple. And then if you're Digicrossing, you add 1 to the number of cards you play with this effect. Then all turns, all your Digimon with Crossheart in traits or with Retail get Rush and Blocker. So we Digicross into this with the Ignitemon. We get 2 level 4s back. Hopefully we grab the Digimon that lets us give a Retail on play. And then we're going to be able to have Rush and Blocker with both of those 2 bodies. Hopefully we swing in and win the game. If not, then we're probably in a tricky position to begin with, and we don't hate having 2 blockers on the board. We're going to run 4 copies of the BT20 Necromon, has security attack +1 and execute. We already talked about execute with the Phantomon. On play, when Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, and then on play, on deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash, not paying the cost. This card is really, really fantastic. You can get it for 2 checks. It dies to the execute trigger. You're going to be deleting one of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level on Digivolve anyways, and then on deletion, you get back a level 5. If you have Phantomon in the stack, you're getting a level 5 back, you're getting a level 4 back. You've probably blown up an opponent's Digimon that's either level 6 or lower, and then you're just so much value to be had once you play the Phantomon back off of this effect. Potentially, the Phantomon can be used to get back another level 4, then you have 2 level 4s on board, you can go into Kimeramon. Just lots and lots of routes being enabled by this boss monster. Super fun and perfect, obviously, for a Necromon Ghost deck. We are going to have the one of Anubismon from EX5. We all know and love the card. When Digivolving non-main, trash up to 3 cards in your hand. Play a purple Digimon card from trash with cost reduced by 3 +1 for every card you trash. You can cost reduce by 6. If we do play the Mervamon with this effect, you get to Digicross, further reducing the cost by 3. So Mervamon actually winds up being a 2 cost to play. And then you gain a memory back off the Ignite, so it's really a 1 cost to play, and then you play back your 2 level 4s. Excellent synergy, excellent combos. This also doesn't feel bad just generically playing back the level 5s. You can play back something like the MetalPhantomon, which can then pop a level 5 or lower on top of Anubismon, popping you a level 5 or lower and drawing you a card. Or you can just play back the Phantomon, and then this is threatening to float to a level 4. It's really not bad at all. The draw power presented here is also really nice. Just helps us keep our hand full, put things in trash where we want them. For our top end, I opted for 1 copy of the EX8 Boltboutamon. When Digivolving, Digivolve 3 on one of your opponent's Digimon. For the turn, all their Digimon get -6k. And when other Digimon are deleted, trash your opponent's top security card. This actually synergizes well with us because it just says when other Digimon are deleted, which means when our execute triggers go off, we can actually trash the opponent's security, which is really, really nice. I am running 2 copies of Apparition Legion. Main, by returning up to 9 levels total worth of Digimon cards from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, you can play a Ghost trait Digimon card for each of the return cards levels from your trash without paying the cost. Then the Digimon this effect played gain Rush and Blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So you are hoping to bottom deck a level 6 and a level 3, or a level 4 and a level 5, or anything that adds up to 9. You get 2 bodies on the board. They swing in with Rush. Because the execute trigger goes off when they have Rush, they can attack end of turn. You can only attack with 1 execute trigger at the end of turn, so that is worth noting as well. But this is just a great way to cheat a Necromon on board, basically, when you have no other way to do so. And then maybe you break your opponent's board or steal the game with the execute trigger. It's just nice to have. You could go to 1 on this card if you wanted to. I find 2 is just enough that I see it when I want it, especially with the filtering effects from Anubismon and the Bakemon that lets us draw 1, trash 1 on Digivolve. We are also going to run 1 copy of Back for Revenge. I just think it's funny. I'm going to be honest. I think this card's hilarious, especially with Necromon. So that's why it's at 1. One of your Digimon gains on deletion. Play this card without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't trigger, which is a bit of a bummer. But just having this on board to threaten its on deletion twice and get you 2 level 5s back, I think is hilarious. Also, it does technically make an Anubismon check safe if you have to throw it out there, which I don't mind at all. That has come up for me a couple times in testing. 4 copies of Wisdom Training finds us our purple pieces and lets us evo for cheap. We love that. 3 copies of the BT20 Violet Inboots. Start your main phase if your opponent has a Digimon gain 1 memory. That's great. Lets us start our turn at a minimum of 2 memory. And then your turn, when any of your Ghost trait Digimon are deleted by suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a card with the Ghost trait in the hand with the cost reduced by 2. Not quite a free evo like I had been saying earlier, but if you go from a 3 to 4, it's a free evo, and it's a 1 cost evo from 4 to 5. It's just a really good card, obviously, for the engine. For our memory setter, I opted for ST16 Matt Ishida. This is because I am running the Draw Discard Bakemon, and I am running the Anubismon. This presents me a lot of opportunities to get a lot of memory, going up to 5 in some situations. It's just gross, and that's even just with one Violet on board. So I like this card. You could obviously run the other Violet, which does work perfectly fine, and you can play it for free with the Soulmon, I believe it's called. With the Bakemon. I'm sorry. I had to double check because I knew I would get it wrong. But you can play the Memory Setter Violet for free, so that is an option if you want to run it. Again, I just really like having the extra memory off of discarding cards. And then lastly, I'm going to run 3 copies of Analog Youth. Reveals top 3, adds a Digimon among them to your hand. You trash the rest. Being able to grab Kimeramon with this effect is super clutch. And then when a level 5 or higher is deleted, you get to suspend this to gain a memory and hatch a Digi-Egg. So whenever we trigger the Necromon Execute, or even the Phantomon Execute, as long as there's sources underneath this, we can actually gain a memory back and then hatch an egg, which again is more gas, especially with all those inheritables underneath our stack that gain us a memory on deletion. So that's what I'm doing with Necromon and BT21. I hope this serves as an okay template for you guys to go ahead and tinker and play with the deck, see what you like, see what you want to try, and then let me know in the comments down below how you enjoy the deck in BT21. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our channel members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and DigiDane who make videos like this possible.